So we're going to start now with prayer, as we always do, because we know is very important in our lives. So we'll go ahead with prayers. And so, um, our sovereign God, we thank you. We thank you for this evening, oh God. We thank you for everybody that's present here. We thank you, oh God, that we've come to know more, to learn more. And with everything that we absorb, oh God, we know that you are in it. So we are blessed just by being here, just by showing up. We are blessed. And I thank you, oh God, for every member of this panel this evening. Things that you've never heard before. You're going to hear some things as a reminder, and you're going to be able to walk away with something beautiful. So, as we carry on, we're waiting for Dr. Clive to come on in, because we don't want to waste any time tonight. We want everything, and like Lady Bridget said, make sure you have something to write on and a pen that writes when it's on the phone. So we want everything, and welcome Merrick Campbell. That's Dr. Campbell's son. So I'm gonna step out of the way of greatness as Dr. Campbell will enter now. So Lord, in your name we praise you. Amen.
Amen.
And Dr. Campbell.
Okay, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. Can you hear me okay?
More than okay.
You say yes. All right. So thank you so much for that. My brain is not as agile as my son. Remember all the steps. I reached a part of the way and didn't know the other part. But that's how life is when you're trying to learn something new, something different. But I've always wanted to operate on the Zoom space. But hopefully I didn't bite off too much this evening, more than I can chew, but that's how it is. Thank you all. Thank you, Lady Bridget. I didn't hear a lot of what you were saying, but I'm hoping that I can still mesh in with what you're saying. So pleasant good evening to you all, and welcome. Welcome to our first timers. Welcome to persons who have been here all the time. Welcome persons who are just lovers of information for transformation and the more mighty products. What a product line we have. So thank you, Marva. Thank you, Bridget. And thank you, Morris, who's going to speak now. Thank you, everyone. And welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'll be speaking first as it relates to the products, about half an hour, because some persons I know have logged on to hear some information because they've been hearing about more MITRE from friends and from families, and they want to get it, so to speak, from the horse's mouth. So I'll do justice to that as much as possible in the time frame, and then we get going. Allow me to do the disclaimer, the FDA disclaimer. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products discussed is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The information is intended for general information purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment of disease. As it relates to any testimonials that may be shared, no one was compensated for giving a testimonial. All testimonials are the opinions of those individuals and may not be the results that everyone gets. Ladies and gentlemen, we hear some testimonials that are simply amazing. And some persons get more benefits than some. The truth be told, some of us are on medications for a very long time. Some of us might have done 5, 8, 10 different surgeries or procedures over the years. Some of us, our microbiome may be compromised. For some of us, our mitochondria is out of whack. For some of us, we have endocrine system disorders. For many of us, our 100 billion neurons in our brain not firing so well. For many of us, our vagus nerve needs some form of stimulation. For many of us, our stem cells not working so well. For many of us, our immune system is compromised. Or some drama, trauma, or dilemma is taking place in our bodies. But guess what? As long as there is life, there is what? There is hope. And we are going to share some hope with you this evening. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Sorry. That we're going to look at the human body. Now, all of us have a body like this. Um, the internal terrain. Some of the legs are missing and the head is missing. But look at the internal aspect of it. This is the organs that you know. Now, just as though there are organs in the body, the cells in our body, and we are told about 73 trillion cells, we have organelles. In the body, we have organs, the liver, the lung, the spleen, etc. But within these organs, the minute portion of it is called the cell. Look at this illustration, how beautifully colored it looks to demonstrate the different aspect of the cell. Our focus of all the organelles in the cell is on the mitochondria for good reason. Now we're going to get a better close-up look in terms of what the mitochondria look like, a cross-sectional view. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called the mitochondria. Many of us may be hearing about the mitochondria for the first time, or you have heard about it a few times, brandished about, but you want to get some update on it. We have 100,000 trillion with a T of these things in the average human body. Some cells have 50, some cells have 500 mitochondria, but there are some cells that have as many as 5,000. That heart cell and the brain cells, the neurons. And because the level of activity and the energy that these organs need, the cells need to be properly powered. Now, this mitochondria performs the role in the body of making your energy. What happens is, after God gave you life, he gave you the mitochondria to maintain and sustain your life. You can't do anything. The reason why you eat, the reason why you breathe, the reason why you drink is to get oxygen and nutrients to this power plant that is almost like a nuclear power plant or a battery. It's the only organelle in the body so that is qualified to make your energy, but guess what you are told nowadays? This mitochondria performs more than 500 functions in the cell. 500. And anything that goes wrong with the mitochondria goes wrong with your tissue, that goes wrong with the organ, that goes wrong with the body. By definition, the mitochondria are membrane-bound cell organelles that generate most of the chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. Chemical energy produced by the mitochondria is stored in small molecules called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. So really and truly, what it does, it converts fat along with oxygen and carbs to energy called the ATP. So that's repeating this, which is the cell's currency. Every cell in the body need to purchase the energy with the mitochondria. The powerhouse of the cell, it is the main site of ATP production. It also plays a vital role in calcium storage, apoptosis. Sorry, sometimes some cells in the body becomes dysfunctional for one reason or the other. It can become infected by virus or bacteria, can become damaged by chemicals and toxins and heavy metals, and therefore the cell is not serving the purpose of the body anymore. It is the mitochondria that has the prerogative to say to the cell, well, I thank you for serving the period that you have served, but we will now need to be replaced, and induce what is called apoptosis, program the cell to die and allow for the immune system and the stem cells to replace that cell and cause the full complement of cells for the tissue to remain. So apoptosis is a very powerful aspect of our process. Now, it also helps with detoxification in the liver cells. Now, the liver is burdened with the task of keeping you clean, removing toxins. And man, do we live in a toxic world? We are living in the most toxic period in human history. The liver is overworked and overburdened. It's no longer functioning the way it's supposed to function. We have eaten so many different things that are wrong. We're going to get to that soon. Humans cannot survive without the mitochondria. That's the long and short of the whole thing. Can't survive. Now, what happens, Clive, if the mitochondria is low? We get mitochondrial disease. Every chronic, degenerative, debilitating, progressive disease, modern science is pointing finger of a dysfunctional mitochondria, a diseased mitochondria. a mitochondria that is low in energy and therefore is not functioning well as it used to 20, 30 years ago before the diabetes came, before the cancer came, before the high blood pressure, before the Alzheimer's came, before the fibroids start to go, before the prostate began to malfunction. Ladies and gentlemen, this causes a vast array of concerns. Cardiovascular, your heart doesn't work well. Your 60,000 miles of blood vessels don't work well, and therefore you are in trouble. Neurological, you're talking about the brain cells. The executive functions of the body is performed by the brain. Renal failure. So many persons' kidneys are not working for one reason or the other. And here in Jamaica, more than 100,000 Jamaicans have to be dialyzed each week. The blood has to run through this sophisticated machine to clean it because the kidney is not doing the function. Then we move on to GI tract. That's a gut. Your gut is not only the part in the stomach that digests protein and other things. All 30 feet of your GI tract, your alimentary canal, your gastrointestinal tube is called the gut. All the way from your back of your throat to the back door, 30 feet of it. And for many reasons, if this gut malfunctions, dog near your supper. Rat eat your breakfast, mangoes gone with your dinner. Because ladies and gentlemen, living inside of your GI tract, 95 trillion microscopic organisms. The last 6 feet of your GI tract, called the colon, the distal gut, has 39 trillion microbes, called the microbiome. Clive, the micro what? The microbiome. It's an umbrella term that is used for the bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, archaea, and parasites that call your body home, that lives in your gut. 39 trillion of them lives in your gut. The greatest concentration of microscopic organisms anywhere on the planet resides in the human gut. They play such a pivotal role, such a critical role in the body that modern science refers to them as the second brain. Did you know that you have a second brain? The second brain is monitored by 500 million neurons, part of the enteric nervous system, of which the vagus nerve connects the gut to the brain. And the gut and the brain is talking every nanosecond of the day to keep the brain informed in terms of what is going on outside of the body, what is going on inside of the body, so that the brain can intelligently give information and instruction to the rest of the organs in the body and to make hormones. So if the gut does not work well, the brain cannot work well. The gut makes 30 or more neurotransmitters that have implications of giving instructions to the brain to make different type of things. Ladies and gentlemen, modern science has not caught up in terms of telling us as the average human being about the role of the mitochondria and the role of the microbiome. Now, the microbiome's role is critically important. And let me tell you why. When you eat food with fiber, humans only have 17 digestive enzymes. We cannot digest fiber with 17 digestive enzymes. So what happens is that fiber, food from fruits, vegetables, grains, seeds, nuts, and lentils, pass into the colon, where you find 39 trillion hungry microbes. They ferment that food, break it down, make short-chain fatty acids, butyrate, acetate, and propionate. Butyrate, for example, is the healer of the body because your gut microbiome is your internal pharmacy. What can make chemicals better than bacteria can? Only bacteria can make certain chemicals to make the body function. Every single chemical your body needs can be made by a bacteria, but we have not been feeding them. We are fiber fueled, and we are not told this. We have to find it out some other means, by some other way. And many of the things we have learned in the past, especially Clive Campbell, we have learned from network marketing companies. It was not the medical system. It was not my teacher. It was not my parents. It was not those in authority that told us a lot about these things. These were companies who are not necessarily a part of the medical system, but functions in the space that give us information about the microbiome, the mitochondria, stem cells. A lot of information for our transformation comes from these companies. And you ask Clive Campbell why he loved network marketing, because the network marketing companies tell us the information 10, 15 years ahead of the rest of the pack. And that is why we are able now to get this information, even about the mitochondria and the role that it plays in our health, sickness, or disease states. I love to talk about the GI tract, but I got to move on. Pulmonary, that talk about the lungs. Many of us don't breathe well. Fast, shallow breathing must be replaced by slow, deep breathing. Erectile dysfunction, because the mitochondria doesn't work well. Mass Charlie, does not work well. Infertility issues. I saw an article in a newspaper, the Star newspaper in Jamaica, just this past week, that so many of the Jamaican men, 50% are struggling with infertility issues. You have male infertility, you have female infertility. A lot of women have hormonal imbalances. Those women who take the contraceptives, many women who are taking those chemicals that they're spraying on their bodies, many women who are using those deodorants and those parabens and all those phthalates and all those plastics, microplastics and bisphenol A, creating havoc in the endocrine system, and the body is not working well. Vision issues. Your sight is one of your blessed gifts to you from God, and many persons are losing their sight. Glaucoma, cataract, macular degeneration, nearsightedness, farsightedness, myopia, things of that nature, macular degeneration, I said that, and other type of vision loss issues. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to hear how persons are using one of our products called Rejuvenate, and they are massaging the Rejuvenate cream on their eyelids. It penetrates the eyelids, go straight into the eyeball where you have thousands of mitochondria. Rejuvenate them, restore them, resuscitate them, cause them to function the way they're supposed to function. And you want to hear the stories of people who are saying, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark days that held me back. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Look straight ahead. There are nothing but blue skies. Here comes the rainbow I've been praying for. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day and a great, sunshiny life. Cause and effects. Ladies and gentlemen, mitochondrial deficit. We don't have as many mitochondria as we started out with. They are damaged, dysfunctional, because the gut is not getting the right amount of nutrients to feed the mitochondria. The microbes in the gut makes the food for the mitochondria. It's the butler and the chef for the mitochondria. And the mitochondria is starved. The mitochondria is not functioning well because the food source and the energy is not coming and the nutrients are not coming because we thought it didn't matter. We think we could eat all those fried foods, all that sugary stuff. We could drink all those dairy products and consume all that cheese. And we could eat all those gravy and rice and flour and all those white stuff and it would not cost us. Ladies and gentlemen, it is costing us a lot, because it causes mitochondrial deficit, inflammation, oxidative stress, free radical damage, diseases, the most dangerous diseases. We talk about elephantitis, arthritis, and the one diabetes, chronic pain. The reason for the pain is because of mitochondrial dysfunction. The reason why poor circulation is mitochondrial dysfunction. The reason why doctors have to amputate, oh my God, persons' toes and limb, poor circulation. The mitochondria is not working well. The tissue becomes starved. The life of the flesh is in the blood. Blood has oxygen. Blood has nutrients. Blood has growth factors. Blood has repair tissues in it. And blood remove waste from the body. Many of us are drowning in our own waste because the circulation is not taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, we have good news for you in this company. What are you suffering with? What are you struggling with? What did you wake up with this morning? Is it a cardiovascular disease? Is it things like breast cancer, lung cancer, or some other form of cancer? I heard a Dr. Berg said, cancer cannot even be formed in the cell if the mitochondria is working well. It fights for you. It's close to you, it's like your mother. It's close to you, it's like your brother. It's close to you. All your life you have been praying for something. The good news we have for you today is that that something has come. The more Mito product, the rejuvenate, the restore, and the brain and body to fix the inflammation, the arthritis, the pain in your joint. We can't move, we can't climb the stairs as we once did. And we're taking our time to go up the stairs and to come down the stairs. It's so painful. Allergies, eye disorders, asthma, diabetes, colitis, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, irritable bowel syndrome, and all these type of things. Ladies and gentlemen, blockage of your artery, 60,000 miles of blood vessels to protect. And we are fighting an inflammatory war within the walls of our blood vessels because we are not eating right. We're not maintaining the body. We're eating things with dairy. We're eating things that are chlorinated, that damage the blood vessels, and they blame cholesterol. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest hoax of the 21st century is the bad name they give to cholesterol. Cholesterol is not your enemy. Cholesterol is your friend. Every time there is damage, the body give instruction for cholesterol to go there to fix it. And because they find cholesterol at the scene of the damage, they say that it's cholesterol, commit the murder, and they give you statins to clear up the cholesterol. But much of your brain is cholesterol. Much of the hormones, that your sex hormones, is cholesterol. The cells of your body is the outline of your cell is cholesterol. The mitochondria is cholesterol. So when you get statins, ladies and gentlemen, that prevent cholesterol from making you sick like but a dog and his 10 cousins, and MRI and CAT scan and X-ray can't pick it up because we are not fighting the right war. We are fighting our friends. Cholesterol is not to be fought. And because of that, atherosclerotic plaques are formed within our blood vessels. Blockage of the artery, hardening of the artery, blood cannot flow. And that is why we get problems with a stroke, get problem with heart issues, because blood is not flowing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have good news for you, because the next slide is going to tell us that we are going to ask a very profound question. How can we make a product to help people to die of what? Old age. How many people today is dying of old age? Most persons are dying from some chronic disease. And when they put on the death certificate, it's not old age, it's cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, Alzheimer's, or some sort of infectious type of thing. But this question was asked by a profound gentleman. We're going to see him here say something now, Dr. Elliott. Dr. Elliott's research indicates that what affects health the most is what? Health of the mitochondria. If you don't believe that, go do your research on Google, YouTube, or wherever you go do your research. Ask Siri, ask AI. You literally cannot be your healthiest unless what? Your mitochondria are their best. That is why this company is said to be the next billion-dollar company, because they are the only company in the space that has a product that restore what? Mitochondrial function. It performs 500 things. Fix one thing that fixes 500 things. Isn't God amazing? This is where God has led us. Because it is not so much that Dr. Elliott found God. Listen to this spin on it. God found Dr. Elliott. The humility is preparation in terms of the science is one of America's brightest sun, as you'll soon see. And God found himself a man. Why did God look for a man? because too many persons were saying, I'm sitting down here at the river. Will you come, Lord Jesus? Kumbaya, my Lord, kumbaya. This diabetes, I can't sleep at nights. I can't walk well. I have too many diseases. I have to go spend the little money I work for at the pharmacy, at the doctor, at the clinic, and I'm still sick after 5, 10, 15 years. You cannot be your healthiest unless your mitochondria are at their best. If the health of the mitochondria can be improved, and it can, you have more mitochondria that are what? Bigger, more energetic. Your overall health will do what? Improve. Do you see how God give us a shortcut to health? You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to be a food scientist. You don't have to be a physicist or a chemist. Give your mitochondria what it needs by giving the microbiome what it needs to make the food for the mitochondria. It's all connected. We are interconnected and we are functioning as a system. Get your mitochondria right. And watch this now. Watch your body rebuild, restore, and rejuvenate. This is how Stella got her groove back. If you want to get your groove back, listen to what these three men have done. Roger Hill is our CEO. Dale Bonet is our president. But look at the humble scientist who went to God and said, God, help me to make a product. God said, a long time I've been waiting on you. I prepared you, Dr. Elliott, for this moment in time. And Dr. Elliott, over a 9-year period, got a download from the Holy Spirit, teaching him 44 plant nutrients that work in synergy, teaching him how to target the mitochondria, taught him exponential delivery system. What that mean, Clive? Smaller than nano. Nano mean a million part. Exponential delivery means micro nano. It is so small that when it goes to the cell, it establishes diplomatic immunity. It goes straight into a cell that may become calloused and damaged, and the cell receptor sites may become covered with chemicals and toxins, but it still get the nutrients inside of the cell because it is so small. Revive and restore the mitochondria, turn up by energy, clean up the receptor sites, clean up by the cell membrane, and the cell begin to serve well, the tissues serve well, and the body will tell. How do we prevent and repair mitochondrial damage? Ultimita Restore. It works from inside out, growing mitochondria to increase cellular energy and provide your body with nutritional resources to do what? Restore, rejuvenate, repair itself physically and emotionally. In other words, the body heals itself. Only the body can heal itself. All our products do is to impregnate the body with the necessary nutrients, and the body goes to work. And while you are sleeping, you are healing. While you are working, you are healing. It removes your body from the part of hurting to a place of healing, including your enteric nervous system. Take off the sympathetic part of it, where there is drama, trauma, dilemma, stress, and all kind of different things, and put on the sympathetic part where there's rest and digest, where there is sleep and restoration. How would you like to be healing more than you are hurting? Get the products, get it, bless it, take it, experience it, and see your body looking better, feeling better. Look at the rejuvenate now. Our topical gel, ready for this? Works from the outside in on specific areas of concern. It is highly recommended for anything that affects what? Your hair. Come again, your scalp. What about skin? Your skin, any place on your body in an unwanted way. It also, hear this word now, penetrates. This thing is not a lotion. This thing comes with an attitude. It penetrates it by layers of the cell, the epidermis and the dermis. It passes the different parts of the cell. Look at them, the tendons and the ligaments and the muscles go all the way down to the joints, all the way down to the bones. That anywhere there's experiencing a discomfort, mobility issue, lack of feeling, hear this word come again, poor circulation. Get your circulation up and running again. So the doctors who want to cut off something, ask them to hold brakes a little bit. Ask them to allow us to use these products to go first. Ask them for circulation to improve. Ask them for the blood to take over again and allow the body to function the way it's supposed to function. How does the rejuvenate work? Uses a natural ingredients that are amplified, driven deep into cells, and into what? The mitochondria, using this proprietary XDS technology. This is the only company that has XDS technology. The Restore works from the outside, Restore again. Restore works from the inside out. That's why I wasn't getting it. Growing the mitochondria to increase. This is not small. Get this, get this, get this. Increase cellular energy, like when you were a teenager. Oh, and provide your body with the nutritional resources to what? Restore, regenerate, and what? Repair itself. Is your body in a place of repair? Is your body struggling? Is your body complaining? The worst thing to do is to live in an unhappy, unhealthy, complaining body. That is why we have Restore. Look at this product. Look at Restore. Give me some information on it, Mr. Merrick. Look at Restore. Let's tell you about this product. Restore is an adaptogenic formulation. It's designed to promote and stimulate free natural energy from the mitochondria that can outlast the longest day. Enhanced brain ability with vision, clarity, and focus to meet every challenge. Mood enhancement, chronic stress reduction, deeper, more restorative sleep, cellular detoxification and repair. Immune system enhancement. You're only as good as your immune system, your body's ability to fight infection and invasion, antiparasitic, antipathogenic support, body-wide support for major organ system. Hear this clincher. Enhanced ability for your body to manage itself and maintain, hear that long word, homeostasis. So clear what that word mean? Balance. The front end of a car need to be balanced. Even a washing machine, if you don't balance those four legs, you see when it's washing, it shake like an earthquake, one wash on the plate. Everything in life need to be balanced. This product balances your body so that your body can do what it does best, which is to heal itself. So the benefits of Restore can be especially important to those experiencing extreme energy deficit from the effects of what? Medication. Athletes striving for extreme performance. Those whose occupation require problem-solving abilities. Working moms and dads. Anyone who just want to be as healthy as you can. This product is not for sick people. It's for people who think they are healthy. Don't lose your health and try to get it back. Prevent yourself from getting unwell by taking Restore. Restore today and launch a rescue mission. Launch a rescue mission. Don't watch your health go down the drain. Launch a rescue mission by getting these three powerful products. Give me the next slide, please, my precious son. Now, these are some of the superfoods that are, benefits that are inside of the Restore. And these are documented health benefits of olive oil, olive leaf, and black seed oil. Excessive fatigue relief. You ready for this one? Healthy blood, sugar. That's not diabetes. Healthy blood pressure, high blood pressure. Heart and cardiovascular support. General major organ support. Weight loss. Healthy hair, youthful skin. You're going to love the skin you'll be living in. Antiparasitic, antipathogenic. Virus, fight bad bacteria, fight fungus, fight mold. Yeah, this is support now to fight the things they can't even see. Cholesterol improvement. So it prevents all this inflammation in the body and prevent the liver from making 85% of the cholesterol to try and put out the fire inside of your body. So with less inflammation, less cholesterol, less clot blockage in the arteries, your blood is flowing. It helps with proper circulation. Immune response for things like autoimmune diseases, and you see that how it helps to fight those powerful things. Ladies and gentlemen, give me the next slide, Merrick. How you take it, it's liquid. Take 4 milliliters per day, but if you have some problems, some people need to take 8, 12, even 16 milliliters per day. Now, when you put the dropper in the bottle, it comes with a dropper, and you squeeze the rub at the top and releases it, it won't go all the way to the top. It comes in the middle. That is one dose. Some person need to take a loading dose. You need to take not 4, but 8 milliliters and start from there and gradually go up for 90 days. Take the 90 day back to health movement or challenge. Get your health back. If you have lost it, the good news, you can get it back, but you have to restore it. And it can be taken in the morning or the evening, a single dose, or you can split it up. We give you more details when we have some more time. Now, where do we go now? These are the ingredients. Let's take a snapshot. Let's take an image of this, a photo of this. Look at the 44 ingredients the Lord downloaded in Dr. Bevan's brain. to put together. Rejuvenate. This is the product with the attitude. Give me some more information and Sir Merrick. Now, about the Rejuvenate. Rejuvenate is great for anything that causes you to itch, scratch, or break out, or irritate. Come again, my brother. Other benefits. Want a fresher, younger looking skin? Want a natural alternative to medication for discomfort? Want a sharper vision to get quick relief from eye strain and pain? Want to pursue a vigorous athletic workout routine? Or you just want a to be as healthy as you possibly can with less emotional stress and physical discomfort? Give us some more information about this powerful product with attitude. Joint pain and discomfort. Rub it in, massage it in. Random bumps and breakout. Fine lines and wrinkles. Kiss those wrinkles goodbye. Sunburn and sun damage. Burns, cuts and bruises. Insect don't like and bite you up. Fight back. Dandruff and other scalp issues. Razor bump. Man, this is good news for you. Fight back with Rejuvenate. We have more scars, moles, warts, skin tags. Some people use that as a natural deodorant under your arm to keep it calm. Natural hair styling, bouncing, beautiful, healthy hair, repair damaged hair, foot care, rub it upon your foot them if them giving problem. Get your Lexus back, your Lexus. Sore, tired eyes, use in your nostril for sinus-related discomfort, sinusitis, and watch those things drain out. Persons use it as a deodorant, you use it as a toothpaste, you use it as a lotion. Thoroughly massage Rejuvenate into and around affected area. Reapply multiple times per day as needed. Continue to use even after discomfort is gone for more complete recovery. Rejuvenate can be used topically in combination with Ultramite or Restore. Some like to put a teaspoon of Restore in their jar of Rejuvenate. When they first open it, shake it up, stir it in. It seems to give their skin an extra special glow. If you want to look 10, 15 years younger again, this is what we have. So what should they expect? Some persons report same-day result. Most people report benefits in days or weeks. Some get some instances sign that the body detoxifying when they go to the bathroom. You make a more healthy deposit. People don't have to knock on the bathroom door and ask if you need scissors. All them sort of things there, you don't have to be constipated anymore. Others may take a month or two to get benefit, depending on how much detoxification is necessary. Those with complex health conditions, including ones using medications on top of medications. I have heard of people who have taken more than 20 medications per day and other supplements too, and all kind of things going on. You have to be patient. The conventional wisdom is to allow at least 3 months, the 90-day, to give these products a chance to work. Do I need to talk about anything else, Sir Merrick? Or do I just, these are the ingredients. These are the ingredients. Let me just talk about the brain and body. The brain and body is the third product. Bert might want to put up the slide on the screen. This is it. It intensifies the performance of the Restore and the Rejuvenate because it utilizes the water-soluble pathways into the cell, wherein the Restore use the fat-soluble pathway. So we got all your pathways covered to get nutrients into the cell so that the cell can perform the way it performed before the diseases of your body came. So I might leave it here so that I might hand over to greatness because I've taken some more time than I wanted to take because I started out a little later than I wanted to start. But ladies and gentlemen, we have something in our arsenal to share with you. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you keep on doing these tests, paying all those different things to do X-ray, CAT scan, all those things, and doctors can't find your complaint, ladies and gentlemen, let the intelligence of your body find a way to make the difference in your health. I present to you Rejuvenate. I present to you Restore. I present to you Renew Brain and Body. This is how people are getting their lives back on track, and this is how you can get your life back on track. Also, Lady Marva, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you, see, to facilitate questions and answers after Morris and Lady, why am I not remembering your name? Bridget. There's a mental glitch a while ago. They are going to present for a period of time each, and then we come to questions and answers. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing me to be blab on about these products so much, but we're going to learn something about money and look at the mitochondria, the mind, or it affects the mood, or it affects your pocket, or it affects your relationship. Sir Morris Sinclair, sir, will you be free and free kind to open your microphone and let me pass the baton on to you as you talk about the things that you master so much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get out of the way of greatness and present to some and introduce to others Sir Morris Sinclair, and then he will bring on Lady Bridget after he finishes. Sir Sinclair, please take it over.
Hi there, everyone. I don't know how or how I can possibly speak after you after that very, very resounding, uplifting, motivational, educational, and all the other wordinal talk
Yeah,
that you
thanks.
just gave. So I'm going to try my best. I'll be as brief as possible, and I will definitely, follow in your footsteps to make it as engaging and as profound. So my name is Morris. I am Jamaican. I lived in Africa for many years in Ghana, and I go back and forth still between the two places. Um, and I have gone through some very serious challenges in the past couple of years. And the only way that I was able to really get through them, yes, not the only way, but the most of it was because of my mindset. So today I'm going to talk about the power of the mind and your brain optimization. I made some notes. I'm going to be reading from some of them. This is something that I have been preparing for some time to present, and I'm glad that this platform allows me to that opportunity. And this is about the concept of becoming limitless, because I read a book by a gentleman called Jim Quick about unlocking the full mental potential of your mind. And it's under three pillars. Now, I hope that everybody has some kind of pen and paper here, because this is very important for you to write things down at this point. If you haven't been writing them down before, this is now very important for you to do. And those three pillars are mindset, motivation, and methods, and how shifting your thinking enhances your learning, your focus, and your memory. I'm going to talk a little bit about why it matters, your growth mindset, your flexibility of your brain, and the mitochondria connection, and how that also fuels back into what we're talking about. So, fixed versus growth mindset is one thing, the role of your brain in terms of what we call neuroplasticity, meaning that the brain can actually change and build itself. Just like how you go to the gym and you lift weights and you build muscle, the brain can actually do the same thing, and it's called neuroplasticity. And then I'm going to show you some practical applications that you can actually start using to put those things into effect right away. I'm going to talk a little bit about enhancing focus and eliminating your mental clutter, and just some memory enhancement techniques using what I learned from Jim Quick in his book Limitless, some exercises and the science behind it. And then, of course, we tie it right back into the mind of the mitochondria connection with some action steps and some final thoughts on it. And, of course, some questions and answers. So, this is going to be brief, but it's also going to end up being part of a larger series, which we'll talk about later on when Dr. Campbell introduces us to what we're going to do to follow up on this. So, unlocking your mind. Really, have you ever wondered, for example, why some people seem to overcome every obstacle and why others seem to be stuck and feel, you know, they're in the same place and they're like that for years, they're just going around like in a hamster wheel? Well, the main answer for that is your mindset. And one of the things that I really think is, or really know, is that once I learned that, it really got me out of a lot of trouble. For example, my health. I went through some debilitating health experiences, that's what I would call them. Suddenly, in the past 2 years, I was hospitalized and I was in hospital for a majority of those 2 years, overcoming leukemia. I went to the brink of death and back many times, and it was painful to go through the chemotherapy and hold on one second. It was painful to go through the chemotherapy and all of those things, but I, I could have given up, but I couldn't. I just said to myself,
Am I the only person?
No, you're
Who
not.
Okay. So, Sir Morris, we have a
I
little
think it,
computer a glitch there. I
yes.
I am wondering,
Is mic is
is
on?
his mic is back
Mhm.
on?
Yes.
Just give him a few seconds
Hmm.
to come up back. But he's saying something very critical, because this is not a man just talking something he read somewhere from the top of his head. This man went to the door of death several
Yeah.
occasions, and with the help of God and the mental vigor and to fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are learning today from a man that is willing to tell us how the Lord turned things around for him, how God made it makes a difference for you, and to see him sharing with us today. God's grace. That's what comes to me just now, Lady Button and the others. God's grace.
Hmm.
Morris is saying that he cannot unmute. Are you able to help him,
Yes,
Lady?
I can.
You can. Okay, we're gonna help Morris to unmute and come back on to tell us how God's grace brought him
Just
through.
come to look on the screen. Watch the screen.
But what is, I hope that he's able to
Oh,
hear
actually,
this.
1 second. Oh, I see
Yes.
why. You need to co-host him.
All right. Let me see if we can find him again.
Hmm.
HIJKL. 1 second for me. I learned my alphabet again. Thank you, sir.
Yes. He's right
Kill.
on the
Morris.
Morel.
Yeah. I find him. I come up now. He's coming up. He's coming up. Um, a co-host. Yes, and Bob. So should be happening in a moment now.
Yes.
Sir Morris, you can log on back, sir. Give us the rest of the story. Give God the glory. So,
Amen.
Sir Morris, I know as soon as you get your jig back together that you can speak and so on. But ladies and gentlemen, around here, we give God the praise. We thank
Okay.
him for finding a way to help us to be alive still. How many times many of us on this call should have been dead? For some of us, the
Hmm.
doctor gave 3 months, but 3 years has passed and 10 years has passed, because the Bible said, teach us to number our days. The Lord has the number of our days, and he's the one that determines it. Sir Morris, you can talk now, please.
Yes, I'm back. Okay.
Yay, good.
Yeah, I was here talking. I said, but where everybody gone? Them run gone.
Hey, there, man, we're there. You were
All right.
talking about your escapades in terms
Yes.
of the,
So I
yes.
went through a lot, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, my life is over. But you know what? I said to myself, I have to fight this and become stronger, because I was in a situation that I could have just said, I can't manage this anymore. I can't manage this pain. This is just too much. But there was too much at stake for me to give up. So I said, nope, I'm not giving up. And I had to program my mind. I listened daily to affirmations. I put the headphones on my head and listened to affirmations. I read books about mindset. I watched videos about mindset while I was sitting there in the hospital. And it really, really helped. Of course, additionally, there was prayer, there was medicine, there was soursop leaf tea, all kind of different things that I was doing that really helped. So the mindset really affects your health. And there is no better chance of recovery when you really use your mindset and your beliefs. So science backs that up by saying a positive mindset helps to lower your stress, it helps to reduce inflammation, it helps to strengthen the immune system. And this is because your thoughts influence your biochemistry. And the biochemistry is what, again? Part of the mitochondria, and they work in tandem with each other. Positive beliefs release endorphins and serotonin. These are chemicals in the body that the body itself produces, and they boost healing and mental clarity. So people with a growth mindset view setbacks as challenges to overcome, not roadblocks. And that's really what it was for me. I said, I'm sitting here, lying here in this hospital. I went to the brink of death twice. I had to get a bone marrow transplant, and I went right down into sepsis and lost everything and went into coma and all that kind of stuff. And when I came out, I'm still around. It's time to keep moving. You know what I mean? So a lot of things that I did were to take proactive steps. I looked at the way how my diet was. I was always a healthy person, and all of that. And I really don't know how this came about for me to get leukemia. But I was exercising and meditating and sleeping well. And all of these things are very, very important. But the bottom line is you have to believe in your ability to improve. And that really helps to enhance your physical health. So every morning, start your day with a powerful affirmation. I call it the mirror technique. Actually, go into the bathroom or wherever you are that has a mirror in your house and say to yourself, write this down. I am strong, my body is healing, and my energy is limitless. Those three things. Can somebody repeat to me what I just said? What are the words? Did anybody write it down? I can say it again for you if
I
you
am
didn't write it down.
strong, my body is healing, and I'm limitless.
My energy is limitless.
Yes, yes. Thanks.
My energy is limitless because you know what? Your mind is listening. And because your mind is listening, it's not just your health that is affecting, it's also affecting your wealth. And let's be real, money mindset is everything. When you really think about it, do we have a abundance mentality or do we have a lack mentality when we think about money? Answer that question in the chat for just a moment. What do you think most people have? Abundance mentality or lack mentality? Have you ever heard somebody say, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or I'll never be able to afford that, or that is too expensive? Why is that so expensive? If you grew up hearing these things, your subconscious has been programmed with a scarcity mindset. This means that you believe that wealth is limited and that financial success is only for the lucky few. But successful people think a bit differently. They have an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. A scarcity mindset, write it down, scarcity mindset thinks that there is never enough, I can't take risks, I might lose everything. Whereas an abundance mindset says there's always a way, I can make something happen out of this, I can create some value. And money is a tool, not a trap, which is something that Lady Bridget Buckner is going to talk about a little bit more when she talks about money. So here is an actionable tip. Every time you catch yourself thinking, I can't afford this, change it to how can I afford this? What are things that I can do? Maybe there are things that you are spending money on that you really don't need to spend money on, that you could reallocate some of your spending so that you can afford that particular thing that you want. If you're a smoker and you buy cigarettes, if you're a drinker and you buy drinks, if you're a person who just loves to just shop every minute on Temu and buy every little thing that jumps out at you, you know, money isn't just about numbers. It's about beliefs and habits and actions. Write that down. Money is not just about numbers. It's about beliefs, habits, and actions. So how does this all affect your success? Now, again, there are many, many examples of people who came from nothing and just became very successful. Look at that guy on TikTok that just all him do is just open him hand them and do like this and do that and do that. And he's now a big millionaire. You know the guy I'm talking about, the guy from Africa. Can you imagine? He came from nowhere, this little guy in a village in Africa somewhere, and just decided to do that and use his mind and how he thought about doing something. And now he's a millionaire making millions of dollars a month every time he puts his face online. So we can use examples of people all around the world, and I can use some for myself. How out of rising out of the ashes, you really became something else because of the fact that you had a plan in your mind to get where you want to go. Someone like Oprah Winfrey, she didn't start in wealth or privilege. She was born in poverty. And what set her apart? It's the mindset. Okay? She believed in her potential. Even the guy now that's so controversial, Elon Musk, look at him. He was born into wealth, but he used his mind to become the richest man of the world. Jeff Bezos, Amazon. Some of the richest black people in the world, are doing that. Russell, what's his name? Dangote from Africa. And it goes all the way back into where they started from and ended up where they're going based on their mindset. So the success-oriented mindset are three things: your resilience. Instead of viewing failure as doom and destruction, you view it as feedback. It's not failure, it's feedback. So change the word failure to the word feedback. What can I do next time to improve what I just did and get better results? Enhance your curiosity. Always learning, always growing. So a lot of times we use our phone and we're scrolling on social media and looking at TikTok videos and stuff like that. How much of that content is actually teaching you something as opposed to looking at car accidents and looking at jokes and looking at how people walk and looking at this and that and disasters and all of these negative news? Use it and find ways to learn by getting snippets of information every day that can help you understand something even better. And self-discipline. Self-discipline means that you're just doing what needs to be done. Even when motivation fades, you have to really begin to get yourself in check and really look at what you're doing with your daily basis. It doesn't happen overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's just about the small choices that we make. And there was a philosopher that said one time that life is the C between B and the D. Does anybody know what that means? Life is the C between B and D. Life is the choices, as in C, between B, birth, and D, death. Life is the choices that you make between birth and death. So write that down. Life is a C between B and D. So growth isn't accidental, it's intentional. So your reality now. Let's bring this all together. How do you think this all affects your health and your wealth and success based on what I just said? Any final thoughts on that from anyone? Somebody says I'm talking too fast, can't take notes. I'm so sorry that I'm talking fast and I'm going quick, but I'm just trying to make some points here that allow you to get the gist of what I'm saying, because we're going to go into greater detail later on. So I apologize if it sounds like I'm talking too fast and going very fast, but I'm just trying to get enough information into you for now. We don't have a lot of time. It's already 6:06, and we do have one more speaker, but we'll be having a symposium later on, and we'll tell you more about that, where you can get more of this information. So okay, people are saying I'm going too fast. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, I will make this available to everyone. Don't worry. I know that I was actually speaking a bit fast, but I really was trying to get through as quickly as possible. Um, so bottom line is this, right? We are going to work together as a community to improve our mindset. All of the things that I am talking about today aren't things that you can learn immediately right away. It's going to take steps. I was just here to give you a brief overview and introduction on it. And just like with what Dr. Clive presented, there is no way that you can retain all of this information right now on this Zoom call today. So that means that we are going to invite you to come back again so that you can continue your learning process, continue your growth process, and really improve upon where you are going, and get to where you're going with our help and with your input as well. Um, your brain is a supercomputer, you know. So keep in mind that all of the things that we're talking about, it's going to be sticking in there somewhere, even if you don't remember it right away. Your brain has a way of recalling it when it's triggered to do that. And that's what's going to happen. So we are going to invite you to come back again uh, and hear more about what we have. Some of the points that I made, I do have some techniques that I want to share with you. But let us go and have Lady Bridget speak now a little bit more, speak about what she was going to present regarding her facts about money and credit and debit and so on. And then if anything, if we have some time, perhaps we can come back to me and I can go over a couple of more things or some points that people seemed to miss as I was speaking. Thank you so much.
Okay, so it's Lady Bridget. Are
Well,
you
hello.
able, go ahead, please. Thanks.
And we'll just come on video briefly just to tell everybody hello. But I'm going to come off because we're not hearing you too well, please. Of bandwidth. We're losing you.
So that's why I know video. How
There we
about
go.
now? Now better?
Much better. Yes.
Much- Okay, great. So let me jump on here because I realize that quite a bit of time has passed. But before I start, last week we had a very engaging conversation, and of course, we mentioned, about wealth creation and bad habits people have and myths and things, and we touched on one little point, and I said, if there's anybody on this call who hasn't realized yet how terrible a debit card is for building wealth and security. If you're still using a debit card and refuse to have a credit card, it just shows that you don't know much about money and creating wealth. And that created quite an uproar, Dr. Clive. And a lot of people want to know more about that. And so, thank you for this time for me to be able to expand on it. Actually, when you talk about credit cards and debit cards, it brings to the conversation about wealth creation and right money mindsets, right money habits. And it can really be quite, it could be a 2-hour workshop, to be honest, to be able to give people budgets and how to plan and what you can do strategically with credit cards, understanding credit card statements versus bill days, understanding how to really benefit from up to 40 days of credit. Some people don't know how to do that with their credit cards. I'll give that tip at the end. A lot of people are not aware of that and they're stressed out over their credit cards and their minimum balances. There's really a lot about it. But I thought about it as Dr. Clive asked me to speak today, and I said, what do wealthy people focus on? And I did some research, and I found different things from different millionaires and billionaires. And as I read through lots of information and talked about what wealthy people talk about getting wealthy, it occurred to me that I could relate this to credit card and credit card uses. And one of the things about wealthy people and growing wealth is that they'll tell you that you should use other people's money. That's one of the things wealthy people do all the time. General wealth tips are, create a budget and stick to it, have an emergency fund, pay off debt quickly, start investing. If somebody is graduating from school, you're going to tell them, listen, start investing early. Don't wait till the last minute. But something that a lot of people overlook, and we certainly don't teach our children, is maximizing our credit score. And I want to highlight maximizing your credit score for several reasons. Number one, utilizing your credit card can help that, and I'm going to show you that in a little while. But also in Jamaica, people in the US are already accustomed to everything is your credit, and your credit is messed up, then you just don't access loans, you pay higher interest rates, and a lot of things can go wrong when you don't have good credit. Well, in Jamaica, especially after 2010, there was an act that was put in place, and now the Bank of Jamaica has allowed the birth of credit bureaus. So those of you who live in Jamaica, if you don't know yet, understand that credit bureaus are here. And the good thing is that you can actually find out what your credit score is. For those of you who don't know, that the forget what the name of the act is. It's 2010. When I remember, I will let you know. But there's an act. But what you can do is, it's the beginning of the year, what I'd advise everybody to do is go to either Credit Info Jamaica or CRIF or Credit Info Services. That's Credit Info Jamaica, CRIF, or Credit Info Services. These places, I think there's one called Every Data or something like that. You can Google it and find out what your credit score is. And if you have a bad credit score, maybe it won't be so easy for you to get a credit card. But I'm going to show you at the end what you can do if your credit is terrible And if you can't get a loan and you can't qualify for a credit card, I will show you at the end what you can do to begin to restore your credit. And I decided to hone in on that because I think that that's important. So let me go back to talking about what wealthy people think about. And I'm going to just keep on tying it back to the benefit of a credit card. All right. Wealthy people want you to develop multiple streams of income. And of course, with a credit card, you can invest sometimes in opportunities that come your way if you don't have ready cash, using other people's money, another millionaire tip, and have time to pay it back. Yes, you can invest in yourself. That is a number one thing that wealthy people like to talk about, investing in yourself. Sometimes you can't afford a course or a seminar that's essential. Now it won't come back around for a long time. A credit card can help you to defray the payment of those, right? And so there's just many other things. I don't have the time to get into all of it, but just to give you that idea so your mind can start thinking in that way. You know, wealthy people want you to think long term. That's what they talk about, thinking long term, not any get rich quick schemes, and not thinking about business in a long way, not thinking about your education in a long term way. You want to focus on ventures that have a 5, 10, 15-year yield, like real estate and things like that, and not make emotional decisions and not do things that will be affected by very sudden market fluctuations. This is what wealthy people talk about, and when it comes to managing a credit card, it's managing your life. If you have a long-term view of creating wealth, then you are going to have a budget. You are going to not overspend. You are going to have a savings and investment plan. You are going to pay your bills on time. You're not going to have a credit card become a noose around your neck. You are going to learn to manage it. And long-term, proper use of your credit card is going to do what? I just talked about it. It's going to help your credit score. If you have a good credit score, I'm going to tell you all the good stuff that happens when you have a good credit card and when you have a good credit score. So you want to have a good credit score, and a credit card can help you do that. All right. Calculate, wealthy people take risk and they add value to others and they leverage debt wisely. Again, here comes credit card. You can leverage debt. Credit card, you have an expense on the credit card, it's a debt, but there's good debt and bad debt. You're not going to use your credit card for consumer spending, buy ice cream and all these things. I'm not paying your credit card for consumer debt, but you can have the kinds of debt on your credit card that brings value to you, and long-term, here's long-term again, what wealthy people talk about, long-term investment, long-term, like investing in your education or a course or something, or an opportunity or something. Long-term, it benefits you. So leveraging debt wisely is important. And if you use your credit card wisely, you can do that. Yeah. So I won't go into, there's a ton more advice that wealthy people give. I won't get into all of that. But let me just ask for show of hands. Is there anybody on the call right now? I don't know how many people on the call. There are 49 people on the call. Is there anyone on the phone that has a negative view of credit cards? You're not getting none because you have a reason. Is there anybody and you want to share? Why is it you think a credit card is a bad thing? Is there anybody on the line? Because I'm going to just talk about some common myths in a little while. But I want to hear from the audience. I want to make sure I'm engaging you. I want to make sure that this is something you want to hear. So is there anybody on the line? Just come off mute and let me know that has a bad idea about credit card. Anybody?
The lines are locked, so they can just raise their hand and unlock for them.
Right. Raise your hand if you have something to say, or you can write it in the chat. Is there anybody who doesn't like credit cards and think it's a bad idea? Someone has raised their hand. Beverly. Go ahead, Beverly.
Go ahead and unmute.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I have a bad feeling about credit cards because of the interest rate that the banks charges on these cards, and also because of you having that credit card. It's not your money. You feel comfortable that, oh, I have this amount of credit, this amount of money on my credit card, and you just do impulse, spending with it. So for me, I try to stay away.
Very good contribution. Thank you so much, Bev. And you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way. And I'll respond to that in a minute. Is there anybody else who has any contribution as to why they don't have a credit card, why they don't want one, or you have a credit card but you don't use it because you're afraid, or some other reason? Who else wants to just say why they think credit card is not good? As well as someone can talk about why they prefer a debit card. Why do you love debit cards so much? Anybody want to share why you prefer a debit card, or anybody wants to share why you don't like a credit card? Anyone can share.
In the chat, I had one and I gave it back.
Oh, you had
That's
one
from
and
the,
you gave
that's from
okay.
the chat. That's coming from the chat.
Where did you give it back? Anybody?
1 second. Let me ask her to unlock. I know she's in the position to speak.
Mhm.
I'm coming there, Alice. Just give me a second. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to unmute there.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm Prudencia Richardson.
Yes.
All right. I had a credit card and I gave it back, just like the lady said before, because of the high interest rate I was getting. But like I'm paying every month and still I'm not getting the card down. Every month interest, more and more higher interest was going on it. So I just get tired of that and I give it back to the credit card company.
Okay. I understand. Yes, that is definitely a common reason to either request that your card be frozen. By the way, for those of you who don't know, if a credit card is out of hand for you and you want to freeze the card, you can, but make sure to speak to your banking officer so that freeze doesn't go into a bad thing for you, but you can ask them to temporarily freeze it for a couple of months while you get some money together and pay some lump sum payments, and the interest will cease. They'll stop attracting interest and you can pay that credit card off, but make sure you pay it regularly and make sure you're in touch with your banking officer and speak to them in a way that they will unfreeze it when you get the money down to a way. You don't want to freeze it in a way that it's closed and then they don't give you another one back. You want to have a conversation with your banking officer. That's something I encourage, definitely. Speak with your banker so that you can make arrangements without losing the privilege. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Prudence. Anybody else? One more and then we carry on.
Raise your hand and I'll unlock your microphone.
Alice is up.
Yes.
Are you able to facilitate? Thanks.
Yeah. Unmute, Alice.
Grace and Peace family. I'm Alice from Queens, New York. Yes, I used to have credit cards, but like everyone else, I turned them in. I only use my debit card, and that's because when you pay the minimum on your credit card, you can take 50 years to pay off that balance if you're only paying the minimum, and it doesn't make sense. The company is using your money while you're paying them and paying all this interest in it. So when I use my debit card, the money has to be there. So that makes more sense to me.
Makes sense. And that is the thinking of a lot of people. So one more person I'd like to hear from, and that's someone who says, I love my credit card. Alice, you sort of alluded to that. You love your debit card because you're only spending the money you know you have. So in fact, let me just do this poll. If anybody who agrees with Alice that I use my debit card and I love my debit card because I can only spend the money I have, I won't get in any trouble, put agree in the chat. And if you don't put agree in the chat, come off mute and tell me if there's another reason why you love to use your debit.
I just unmuted everybody so they could answer to you.
This is Alice again. The only thing is when you rent a car, you may use a.
People agree with Alice.
Oh,
Alice,
I'm sorry. I was saying that sometimes when you rent a car, you know, when you making you're going away and you need make reservations in a hotel, you do need that credit card. And
Yes.
I still use my debit cards for that purpose, but sometimes they only accept the credit card.
Right. Right, exactly. And quite a number of places also you need a credit card, not a debit card, especially if you're doing international business sometimes. Unless it's a Visa debit card, then it acts like a credit card, but it really is still directed from your savings or checking account. All right, I think a lot of people are agreeing. So let's move on really quickly. Let me just quickly run down some myths about credit cards and
Yeah, clear.
some
You're
bad
stuttering.
habits to avoid. You know, credit card is only for people. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. So some people think, credit card is only for people who can afford things. That's really a myth. All right. Because the fact is you should really only be using your credit card to the extent of what you can afford to pay back. And if you manage it properly, it becomes a tool for building your credit, for gaining rewards. And it's not a license to live beyond your means. So it requires discipline. And Marshall's talked about discipline and self-management. And if you have a budget and a plan and a determination and a goal, you can absolutely use your credit card. I get the temptation is there. So if you really have a terrible problem with this, maybe you could avoid credit cards. But if you are somebody intending to transform your life, build wealth, create leverage, then sometimes we just have to make ourselves learn some new habits because, to the same thing, you get the same results. All right. Some people think the myth, you have a credit card, it's going to lead to debt. I'm going to have $10,000 in credit card debt. I'm going to be up the creek. No, again, it's misuse. You have to be responsible. And there's a reason why people end up with these kinds of thoughts, and that's because they didn't pay a good amount of their credit card balance. They only pay the minimum balance. The difference is some crazy APR percentages, and then it adds on, and you have $10,000 worth of your charge and $50,000 worth of interest, and or $1,000 worth of your charge and $9,000 worth of interest, and people are scared of that. But it all started because of bad habits. Paying only a minimum balance is, you should try to pay much more than your minimum balance. Using your credit card for non-essentials, consumer debts, luxury items, again, living beyond your needs, So you shouldn't avoid your credit card for fear of debt. You should learn to use your credit card to your advantage. Learn to get the 40 days credit that it offers and leverage that. It's too good a tool if used well to avoid. All right, so let's get into that. There's a ton more other myths I could get into. Some people only use a credit card for emergencies, but think about it. If it's an emergency, that's probably the one time you spend your card and you won't be able to pay it off so quickly because it was an emergency, or it was a big emergency and you have no credit history, no payment history, nothing. Your credit card is zero all this time. Then you have this big old emergency and now you're struggling to pay it back, and the bank has no reference of your previous good payment history. It's good to back up, but it should not only be limited to emergencies. You should really find a way to strategically use your credit card day to day, week to week for regular purchases within your budget, of course, so that you can benefit from the perks of that. All right, so let me just let me just get to the point here because I don't want to take up too much time. So let me just run through the benefits of a credit card versus a debit card and why it can be used to really add to your wealth creation. All right. So 1 second here. Let me just go in my notes. I have a lot of notes and I want to make sure I just pick out the most important things since we are running out of time here for you. And you know what I want to do if there's time, Brother Clive, I don't know if there'll be time, and if people put yes in the chat, I will go over this as the part in the end. There are some people who, after I speak today, are going to want to probably get a credit card. They're going to realize that they've been missing out. They're going to realize that there's a lot of value and just a lack of knowledge. They weren't able to maximize the use of a credit card, and then they're going to realize that their credit is bad, and they can't get one. They don't qualify for a credit card. So if time allows and if everybody wants to hear that, I can give a few tips about how to restore your credit and what you can do to get yourself a credit card, even if you have bad credit. All right. So we can talk about that in a little while as well. All right. So put a yes in the chat if that's something you want to talk about as well.
Yeah,
All right.
people are saying that they want to know. So go ahead, Lady B.
We're losing you.
So let's talk about it's only the money that you have. All right.
We're not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right. So let me tell you some of the advantages of using your credit card. All right. Number one, a good credit card oftentimes has good rewards and cash back. And wealthy people love to use credit cards because depending on the quality card that you have, you can earn airline miles, you can get concierge services, you can use it for travel discounts, you can get airline tickets, cruise tickets, hotels. You can, some credit cards, the amount of things you can get with the points on your credit card is amazing. And think about it. If you're trying to preserve your wealth and always want to have wealthy strategies, and you're going to spend money to buy a TV, or you're going to spend money to, rent a car, go on a trip or something, and you're going to get points. And those points will allow you in the future to be able to spend again for free. Your future trip, you don't pay anything, you use your miles. Your future hotel, you don't spend anything, you use your miles. That means that in the future, money stays in your bank. You don't have to find money in the future. So in essence, you're saving money because of how well you use your credit card. Credit cards, for people who are interested in really organizing them live, obviously it helps you to track your spending, help you to stick to a budget. And it's not in real time either. You spend and you can get a history. And that's important, even for business people. Some wealthy people like to separate their business expense from their personal expense. I'll put a plug right here. If you're self-employed and you're still using one bank account for your business expense and your personal expense, please stop. Please go get yourself another bank account and put your business expenses together, or qualify for a credit card. And all your business expenses go on your credit card. That's going to help you. That's going to help your accountant. That's going to help your auditing. That's going to help you to get refunds on your taxes if you're in the US. It's going to help you to get there's some kinds of tax credits in Jamaica as well, but in the US for sure, tax write-offs and so on, you need your expenses and you can't afford to lose any. It's a great way. So if you're a business person, you should have a credit card for your business expenses. If you don't have a credit card, you don't want one after all this we talk about today, and you're a business person, please take the advice and get 2 different accounts. Do not commingle your personal money and your business money. All right. When you have a credit card, especially if the bank sees you as a great borrower, the bank loves you, or the lender loves you, whoever is the lender that loves you because you pay on time, you have good credit, they will throw more credit cards at you. And sometimes you might get a credit card that says for 6 months, 0 interest, or for a year, 0 interest, or in the US especially, oh my God, in the US, they're always offering you zero APRs and 0% for a year or 2. And that's a great way for you to consolidate your debt, consolidate all other credit card debt, put it on this one card, and be intentional about paying it off. So you get 2 years of interest free. You can get your life in order, make payments, pay off this credit card here with no interest, and get your life back in order. It's another great advantage when you qualify for a credit card, to the fact that the bank will send you more credit cards. Yes. And you need to learn how to avoid unnecessary fees. Obviously, if you have a credit card and you're not using it well, you're going to pay interest. You're going to pay late fees and all these kinds of things. All right. Cash advance. Don't go to the ATM and get a cash advance. Don't do that. It's an emergency, fine, but cash advances and things like these are the things that make you feel like a credit card is a bad thing. The fees are high, late fees are high, the paying interest on outstanding balances is high. Just avoid the unnecessary fees and pay your card on time. All right. Now, I want to talk about something important. And I'm going to zero in on building your credit score, because your credit card can help you to build your credit score. This is very important, and I want everybody to really listen up. Under this category of building your credit score, I want to introduce you to a term called credit utilization. Is there anybody in here who understands your credit utilization ratio or percentage? Anybody knows what that is? Put out one in the chat if you know about that. Put a 2 in the chat if you've never heard about that. You have no idea what that means. Put a 2 in the chat. No. A lot of people don't know what credit you. Oh my goodness gracious. Woo! Oh Lord. Oh Lord have mercy. Listen, credit utilization is a big dot deal. Big dot deal. Your credit utilization ratio is huge. But before I get to that, let me talk about your credit score. Let me talk about your credit score. Because when you have a credit card that you pay on time, or even if you pay the minimum balance, but you pay on time, you pay regularly, it can build your credit score. Okay. And not only does building your credit score benefit you for getting additional cards, but it affects you for everything, for getting additional loans. Sometimes if you're in business, sometimes people who you're looking to do business with actually are interested in your credit score because they want to know if you are a good money manager. If somebody is looking to do business with you for the first time and the business that you do involves money exchange, they want to know, is this person good with their money? So it can even affect your business, new future business relations. Sometimes it even affects your job perspective too, because sometimes suppose you're coming to a bank or you're going to work in some high security money place, they want to know if this person is always running high debt. You might think you might be tempted to steal. Sometimes house rental, purchases, loans, all of these things are affected by your credit score. And now that Jamaica has credit score issue, people who have higher purchase at courts and these kinds of things, you have short-term things and you're not paying it on time, it's going to affect your score. All right. And then the other thing that can affect your credit score is if you have a credit card, but your credit utilization is over 30%. What in the world is credit utilization? I am glad you asked. Credit utilization, ladies and gentlemen, is really just a percentage of your total credit limit. So let's say you have a credit card with $100,000, then your credit utilization is, what's 30% of 100,000? 30,000. Okay. You're in the US, you have say a credit limit of $10,000. Then you want to try and keep your total balance to be under $3,000. That's 30%. What do I mean by that? Okay. Banks and lenders don't want to know that you max your credit card. Not because you have $100,000 on your credit card, say that you must run up debt to $90,000 every month. They're gonna say, "Oh, this person is always using their credit line. This person might be having financial trouble." That's the message that lenders think. You don't want to do that, okay? Because they're looking at that. If you come tomorrow and you want to have a car loan, they're gonna look at your credit card and go, "But this person is always running to the max. Gosh, they might have problems finding cash," which means they might renege on this car loan. You know what? We're not giving them this car loan. You might want a mortgage. Nah, we don't like how you spend your money. This person's credit utilization is too high. And oh my God, they pay late. And oh my God, they're only paying the minimum. Oh, no. Not lending this person no money. Okay. So what you can do is practice good habits. It is better actually for you to have 3 credit cards all running at 25% credit utilization than to have one credit card and run it up to the max. Okay, tip for those who have multiple credit cards. All right, you want to always be paying down your credit card balances. And guess what? If you have a healthy credit utilization ratio, you can say to your credit card company, hey, listen, you know what? I need another credit card. Because if you have a credit card for 100,000 and another credit card for 50,000, that's in Jamaica. Or if you're in the USA, you might have a card for 10,000 and you get another card for 5,000. Now your total credit is 15,000, or your total credit is 150,000. Now, the more credit you have, what's 30% of more is more. Okay. And so when they begin to look at your entire portfolio, they get to see your credit history. As a matter of fact, lenders like to see that you manage money across many scenarios. So if you have a car loan and you have a mortgage and you have a credit card and you're managing all those well, you become a good borrower. The lenders love you. So anytime you want money, you can get it. What's the benefit, ladies and gentlemen, of having a good credit score, for those of you who don't know? Anybody have an idea what's the benefit of a good credit score, in case you don't know? Nobody? Anybody answering? Nobody knows? Nobody knows? How much more time do I have, Clive?
Ask the question again, please.
How many people know the benefit of having a good credit score? Nobody?
Yeah. Well, I think you can go for another 5 or so minutes, Lady Bridget. Thanks.
Another 5 minutes. All right. Basically, guys, you want to have a
There's
good
some
credit
answers in the
score.
chat.
So some answers in the chat. Let's see the answers in the chat. Real quick. Lenders look favor you. Lower interest rates, yes. Higher, that's right. There you go. You guys understand it. Lower interest rates, higher credit limits, trusted by ES. Absolutely. Very, very, very important. All right. So yeah, you want to definitely do that. And if you, for those of you who never understood credit utilization, please do that. Lower your credit utilization on all the cards that you have, and make sure the lenders have a good perception of you. All right. Now, the reason why a lot of wealthy people don't use debit cards and why you should consider using a credit card is because of security. You can get away. You have fraud protection. You know, somebody robs your robs your cash in your hand, right? They can try to use your credit card, but they block your card and things like that. Yes, you can block your debit card as well, but you don't get like money so easily as you do with a credit card. It makes you build credit, as we've been talking about the rewards and perks, helps your cash flow management. You know, you have some amount of privacy than with a debit card transaction, right? And you really want to you know, some people don't want to really expose their bank balances either. You understand? So unlike a debit card, which is linked to your personal checking account and banking account, people just don't want to be doing that. They want to keep their cash in some other instruments, CDs, other high value places, earning money for them. And then they have their loose cash to pay back the credit card. You're going to spend the money anyway, guys. You have $100,000 a month for your expenses, you're going to spend $100,000 anyway. Spend $100,000 on your credit card. Don't spend $101,000. No, you have $100,000. You know what your light bill is going to be. You know what your water bill is going to be. You know what your grocery bill is going to be. You know what these things are going to be. You do it every month and you can afford it. Put those expenses on the credit card to help to build your credit history, to help to bring payment history, also to add more accounts for history. Tip on credit cards, by the way, if you have an old credit card, even an old bank account, you have an old savings account that you don't use much, don't close it. Every now and then you use it just to keep it alive, not make it dormant, because lenders like to give people who are sick cards from 1991 or 90. When you have a big investigate, when people pulling on your credit history, they pull from all the places that you have credit or have an account. You want to have long credit history too. So old credit cards that you don't use and there's zero balance, don't close them. Unless, of course, they are expensive to keep. You know, and you have to weigh the benefit of closing it or keeping it for your credit history, long payment history, and so on. But anyhow, I digress. All right. The benefit of credit cards also is that when you have good credit,
Did we lose you again?
for
I'm not hearing
items
you.
to defray the cost. How about now?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So
Yes.
when you have good credit history and you can get higher and higher credit balances over time, you now have leverage at your disposal. Okay. You can make some bigger, expensive purchases and choose to pay for them maybe in 3 or 4 or 5 installments. You don't have to find money now. You don't have to break up your CD and things like that right now. You can use your credit card, use other people's money like wealthy people do, and plan to pay it off in 3 or 4 months because you manage the interest rate, you manage the payment, and it suits you better. You'll realize that it's a better use of other people's money to pay the little interest rather than break your CD or sink your cash, you know? Keep your cash. Rich people keep their money. Okay. And I already spoke about, keeping your money separate in business. And global use is more one of protection, travel insurance when you're traveling overseas and you have a credit card. All right. So, the flexibility, the liquidity, and there's so much why wealthy people use it. They love the liquidity, they love the large credit lines. They love it for investment. You can invest in things with your credit card. People buy, when you really get good with your money and you have 2, 3 cards and you have high limit credit cards, people buy huge things, even some things to do with real estate with their card and get tons of miles. Some people have credit cards that's so big that they use a credit card and buy a car. You're going to buy the car anyway, right? They use the credit card and buy a car. And then they go to their bank and get the money that they were going to use to buy the car anyway, or get the loan that they were going to use to buy and pay the credit card. But what happens? You use a credit card, you got the points that you can get now for free trips, free all over the place. And what? Now you pay back that as well. The bank loves you. My God, they pay back their bills. You really, so I don't want to belabor the point. There's a ton about that, but hey, you can research it for yourself if you like, if you want. I could probably put this to PowerPoint one day and maybe do a thing with all the details about wealth creation and so on. Let me quickly touch as I wrap up here. What happens when your credit is absolutely shot and you want a chance to build back your credit? What can you do? Well, for one thing, and I just love that there is restoration. We can make mistakes sometimes. We can operate out of ignorance. We could have sometimes you can have a medical issue, an emergency, death, multiple deaths in families. There are people now dealing with 2, 3 deaths at a time, and unfortunately, they run up their credit card. Thank God they had a credit card. And yes, you end up running up the debt on the credit card and all these kinds of stuff. But you know what? That's the beauty of a credit card for emergencies. Now, let's say you run up the credit card and you can't pay it back. And now you have bad credit and whatever it is, let's just say. Well, what can you do? Well, number one, what you can do is you can do a secured credit card. Lots of banks these days in Jamaica as well can help you to get a secured credit card. Simply go deposit some money. Let's say you have $100,000, you go deposit the money in the bank. They probably put it on a CD or some kind of low interest bearing thing. It's a price you pay. I mean, your money is always better working for you, but hey, put it down for the sole reason of building your credit back. So you give the bank $100,000 and they give you a credit card for $100,000. That's called a secured credit card. And what do? You practice all the good principles. Pay on time, and such. So you build your credit history back. All right. So that's one way that you can do that. The other thing that you can begin to do is check your credit score. Go get your credit score, apply to in Jamaica, Credit Info or CRIF or one of these, in America, maybe Experian, one of these credit building places. Go and check your credit score, and you want to check that there are no errors on your credit history, because sometimes when you want to qualify for a credit card and the bank pulls your credit, they're seeing that you have a very low number. And sometimes you have a low number because there's debt on your credit report that don't even belong there. A lot of people don't check their credit report. Your credit score sucks and you don't know why. And it's because some lender or some mistake is on your credit report and you did not know. Okay, and that is why it's important to do that. All right, so check your credit score. That's one thing that you can do to begin to fix your credit score. All right, and again, by the way, there's a place, in fact, in Jamaica, Credit Jamaica, what is it again? I forget now. Credit Jamaica Info. There's a place, and you can get counseling. You can literally get counseling. It's Credit Repair Jamaica. No, creditrepairja.com. Yeah. Creditrepairja.com. I'm not sure all the places in the US, but in Jamaica, Credit Repair JA. They can help you to analyze your debt, restructure your debt, kind of help you consolidate stuff, help you to develop a new plan, help you to get a budget, and these kinds of things. And the US has those kind of things too. Sometimes some banks and credit unions have courses you can go and do to learn how to manage your credit and to learn about how the bank tools work so that you cannot fall into problems. Okay. So yes, so back to what you can do to restore your credit, and if you have terrible credit. So check your credit thing for errors. What you need to do is also become an authorized user. Find somebody in your family or a friend who trusts you. Of course, you'd have to give them some kind of guarantee or whatever. You have a conversation, and what you can do is become an authorized user on somebody's credit card. Okay, and what that means is that you will automatically benefit from their good credit history and their good payment history. Payment history is critical, guys. There's a few things that add to your credit score. Your payment history is more than 30% of your score. Your credit utilization is 30% of your score. The length of your credit history is probably about 15-20% of your score. Okay, so these are the big ticket items: paying on time, paying history that is have a history of doing good, your credit utilization, and your credit history. These are the things that ding you high on your credit report. So make sure that you are partnering with somebody who pays on time and pays often. All right, so you can become an authorized user. You automatically get their credit history and the paying on time. So after a while, your name will come up in the credit circles as someone who pays in time as well, and that can help to be able to put you in good stead. Okay, you want to spend some time. Sometimes you might have delayed gratification. Yeah, spend some time paying off your debt. And a good tip is find out the debt that has the highest interest or the most detrimental consequences. Pay those off first while trying to pay on the others. Don't let the others get into bad stead either. Put most of your money to the highest interest paying debt. Yes, the ones that are critical that you're going to lose your life for, while paying minimum balances on the rest, and pay more than the minimum balance on the most important one. Get your debt down, okay? And try to set up automatic payments so that you're not late when you have payment bills and so on. Pay your bills on time. In fact, in Jamaica, you get $250 cash back if you pay your light and water on time. Why would you ever lose out on $250? There's not a rich person I know that is going to let $250 free money miss them. That's like the people who throw it 10 cents, or they don't want a small change. Are you ridiculous? Right? 10 cents is $1, and $1 is $10, and $10 is what? $100, and $100 what? 1,000. Don't throw away 10 cents. Take care of the pennies. Finish it. Take care of the pennies, and the pounds will take care of themselves. If you're bank or your water place or your light bill power company is going to give you a $250 Jamaican rebate, or in the US, I don't know what it is being, for paying on time. My God, pay on time. What's 250 times 10 months? 2,500. Hello? Plus 2 more months, that's 2,000, that's what's $3,000 a year. Are you going to be paying light bill next year? That's 3 more thousand, that's 6,000. Are you going to be paying light bill the following year? 3,000 times 10 years is $30,000. Do you pay light bill for 10 years? That's $30,000. You could buy stock with that. Do not waste money. Set up automatic payments and make sure that you pay your bills on time. Use a debt management plan, right? Get a counselor, get help, right? Determined to develop your mindset, like Mr. Sinclair talked about. Get your mind right, guys. Do better, guys. Yeah, learn the discipline, guys. Learn it. Your life depends on it. Your future depends on it. And of course, very important for those of you who don't know, if you know your credit is bad and you know you don't qualify for a credit card, please listen up. This is important. Very, very important. Please do not go to NCB and apply for a credit card and then deny you. Then you go over to BNS and apply for a credit card next week. Then you go to Jamaica National the week after and apply for a credit card. Then next month you run gone over to First Global Bank. Don't do that. If you apply for too many credit cards within a short space of time, it can injure your credit as well, because you're getting denied and you're applying. It looks like you're desperate. It looks like you're stressed. It looks like it's just bad. It affects your credit score because they do a hard pull on your credit score. They're going to do a hard inquiry at CRIF or at Experian or X, wherever. Don't do that. Allow enough time to pass between applying for credit. Okay, very important. So these are the things that you can do to begin to build back your credit so you can be able to afford a credit card right away. All right, be patient and consistent, guys. Nothing happens over time. Find a way to track your progress. Get an accountability partner. Just be patient and get a budget. Don't just live, guys. Plan, be intentional. Hopefully this was helpful. I think I talked a little bit more than my 15 or 20 minutes. I apologize. I hope this has been value to you. There's a ton more information, but time is upon us. So I have to go now. So I hope that this has been helpful and useful. And, you know, for you to know that debit cards are okay, but there's a lot of benefit for you having a credit card, and learn the discipline required to manage it well so that you can build wealth, get the leverage that you need, ladies and gentlemen. You get the leverage you need, you know. That really is the crux of the matter. All right.
Wow.
So
Wow, this is
thank you so much
amazing.
for having me.
Lady Bridget. Wow, this
Yes,
is
sir.
beautiful. We talk about AI, we talk about BI. This is Bridget Intelligence at its best. Thank you for for turning on the light in our darkness.
Oh, Clive, you're so funny. That's hilarious.
Now, Sir Morris. Okay, so Morris, you had suggested that you would come back and say something. Is it okay for us to delay that, Sir Morris, until next week?
Yes, of course.
Okay, great. Thank you for facilitating that. Now, Lady Marvel, what I'm going to ask you to help us to do is to see if there are persons in the room who have any questions for myself, for Sir Morris, or Lady Butner. You are good at doing that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I ask Lady Marvel to please take it away. Thank you.
Thank you very much, panel. I'm just generalizing. Thank you so much for coming out the second Sunday to do this for us. A lot of people were asking last week. They were calling over me trying to get more information, and so of course, Dr. Camden, I asked you to come back. So we thank you for coming back. So anyone who would like to ask any question, the routine is you press that reaction button and you'll see where you can raise your hand to ask a question. I'll acknowledge you. I've opened the mics And I'm asking everybody, as usual, do not speak, open the mic and speak when somebody else is speaking, or even leave it open because your background might disturb the conversation. So, who will be the first to raise their hand? And you can also write it in the chat. And we're not going to do any Lele or Tete tonight. So we're just going to ask you once if you want to. If not, I'm gonna hand it back over to Dr. Campbell so we can close off. Anybody?
I have a question.
Okay.
I wanted to ask Dr. Cleve if he's familiar with, and if he is familiar with, I believe it's pronounced Maffucci syndrome. Would the Momito products help in any way? And I believe it may be difficult, but I just wanted to get a response mainly because he is a doctor.
Okay. I thank you for asking, my dear brother. How is it characterized? I am a doctor, not a medical doctor, so help me to understand what sort of symptoms the person. Yes.
Yeah, it's Maffucci syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Maffucci. Yeah,
Yes.
It's like a deformity it could be in the hand and different parts of the body, the feet, the knee, where sometimes you only have one finger shown because it looks like almost like a swelling of your hand.
Oh, okay. What I need to do, because we can always do some research on it, and I promise to do that and get back to you, my kind brother. But we try to be responsible with giving appropriate responses. I'm not familiar with the syndrome, but we can do a research on it and give an appropriate response come next week Sunday. Is that okay with you, kind of times?
Yes, and I could privately chat you my number also too, and you could also get back with me that way too in the WhatsApp or what have you.
That sounds like a plan. I really appreciate you asking. That's you.
Thank you so much, and what a phenomenal and informative Zoom. Thank you so much, Mava, and everyone else that spoke, and the questions, and also.
Thank you. You are very kind. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. That Rose. Rose has her hand up.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Night. Doctor, people saying the microbiome might be compromised. Does the mitochondria rebuild back that?
Okay. The microbiome, thanks for asking. What a powerful question you're asking. Because the microbiome and the mitochondria works like hand in glove, two sides of the same coin. The mitochondria, let me go to the microbiome first. The microbiome is bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, etc. They perform the role of digesting your food, fermenting it to give to you butyrate, acetate, propionate, which are metabolites which the body needs to function, and makes also your medicine. That's the microbiome does that. What the microbiome does is to prepare butyric acid, urolithin A, for example, that are metabolites to feed the microbiome. The microbiome now in turn makes your energy and performs the role of metabolism in the body, which is to take this food now, converting it into your energy, converting it into building blocks for the body for growth and development and balance and homeostasis. So the two of them work together, and we need both of them in order for the body to function well. I don't know, did I somehow answer your question in that?
Yeah, but I'm asking you, with the mitochondria, the more mito, because I'm going on my foot buckle now.
Okay, so ask the question now that we can understand. Yes.
You said after 3 months. Because I did 3 bottles, I'm on my foot going on to the 4th bottle now.
Mm-hmm.
And after the first 3 bottles, you're supposed to see result. Well, I've seen result from the first time. You know, but I'm wondering about what you said about it being compromised. If after taking the 3 bottle, then it will kick in.
Yeah, put it this way. You said that you are getting some benefit from taking the products. Did you say that?
I said yes. I'm
Okay.
taking it because I had pain and stuff like that, and immediately I started taking it work. But they say that is your gut cause you to have sickness and so forth. But so what I am asking now, if after taking so much of so much the 4 bottles I'm on the 4th bottle now, if it will bring back my gut then.
All right. What are you see, you mentioned bringing back the gut, but what are you trying to fix in terms of what the disease name is that the doctor got?
The good bacteria in the gut.
No, man, that's not the disease.
No, they say because of the bacteria, the bad. Once you get sick, it's caused from the gut.
Yeah, but what symptoms are you getting why you think your microbiome or bacteria is the bad ones causing it? What are the symptoms that
Like,
are?
for instance, sometimes when you eat, first time they used to say I have acid reflux, but every now and then I feel the stomach burns.
Okay.
So
all right. What is going to happen now? I might ask you a series of questions that might be very personal. I don't know that that's a conversation we want to have in an open call, because what might lead when I'm having a conversation with someone, don't answer this. I ask them, what stage you have been exposed to antibiotics? What level of no, I don't answer, no. I'm just telling you what I would ask you if I was talking to you one away, because I don't want to discuss your individual case in the public. Can I respect you like that?
yeah, but I've not been on antibiotic for years before I
No,
leave
look at it now. Look at it. All right. Have you ever taken any antibiotics?
When I was younger. Since I come to this country, I haven't taken any.
What is your diet like?
Well, I eat a lot of vegetable, and vegetable like the kale, the spinach, the cucumber, I blend them and drink them. Sometimes I don't eat no food.
You're suggesting that your microbiome will be out of balance. Why do you think it might be out of balance?
With the stomach problem, him say, then
Okay.
he wanted to do this thing there. I don't remember it name,
Colonoscopy.
colonoscopy. I didn't do it.
Here's what might happen. Sometimes you may have keystone strains of bacteria missing because you were exposed to antibiotics a couple of years ago. Because when you get an antibiotic, it's like dropping a bomb on a city. It causes mayhem and chaos and disaster. When you kill off those sensitive bacteria, you must get them back. So what some people do, they take probiotics along with prebiotics. Probiotics are live strains of bacteria, and prebiotics are certain types of food that you don't get from your everyday diet, to make a deliberate effort to grow back certain strains of bacteria, including Akkermansia muciniphila, Lactobacillus reuteri, and several other types of keystone strains of bacteria. So you might need to have a conversation like that with someone who is a personal care provider, someone that you're the store that sells you your healthcare products, and to see if you can establish if your gut has missing microbes. And if you don't put them back, you will continue to experience the symptoms of sickness and disease until those guys go back on the job to make certain chemicals for the body and the gut to function well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell me which one are the Mike?
Okay, look at this now. The point I'm making, we can't burden the entire call with a private situation. You have to call me one away, because already I've taken a few minutes to talk to you about this.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you for appreciating it, and let's talk one away. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Your understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Is there anyone else? Okay, Dr. Campbell. Let me just try to chat before I give it over to you, because we must close.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any question pertaining to me or to Morris or to Bridget that can speak to in the next 5 or so minutes before we close the call? Anything
No,
you see?
just a personal one to me about the recording. I don't.
Okay.
I never know when the recording's coming out. Depends on the engineer because he has to make sure that everything's appropriate. Otherwise, YouTube would take us down. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Lady Marva, for
You're
conducting
welcome,
this
sir.
session. Blessing. So, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of announcement, allow me to remind you that Wednesday coming, we will not have a call again. Last week Wednesday, we didn't have one. This coming Wednesday, we will not have one. And I did explain to you, this is really a personal thing because you know, sometimes you're involved with family and friends and you have other responsibilities. That is what has hit me 2 consecutive Wednesdays in a row, and I could not avoid it. But thank you for understanding. But at least we still have our Sunday calls, and so the next call is going to be Sunday coming. Please remember that. Remind friends and team members and your guests that the next call. Sorry, Mother.
Thank you so much for this little time. Next Sunday, I am not going to be fully here. I will be plugged in so I could assist Dr. Campbell and certain things. But it's my birthday, and my party will be going on at the same time. After the presentation, we're gonna. If you want to stay on to join the party, it's be right after.
Will
Right?
we be getting digital birthday cake? Will we be getting some digital drinks? Will we be having some music? What can we look forward to, Mother?
Well, you're gonna get some little things. And,
Okay.
and unfortunately, the digital cake don't work, you know? Um, so I don't want to seem like I'm curry favoring anybody or anything, so I can't,
So better show up live and direct then. That's what you're saying. All right.
Yes, I'm gonna be live. I'm
Book
gonna
your
be live,
flight.
and the people in the party and gonna be able to, if you'll see them, and I think the my event photographer is gonna be doing some video and all that stuff.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the
Yes,
update. But we will,
yes.
our next call, the Lord tarries, our lives are spared, will be next week, Sunday at 5 p.m. In the meantime, please order your products. We say, get it, bless it, take it, experience it. Because the product works 100% of the time for 100% of the people. Your response that you're looking for may be delayed. Why? Your body is more intelligent than how you are thinking. And you might think you're taking it for an ulcer when the body is saying, I need to clear that blockage to the carotid artery to prevent a stroke, or the coronary artery to prevent a heart attack, or some Alzheimer's beta amyloid plaques from causing you to lose your memory. So the body knows priority because the body has a triple intelligence in your microbiome, your mitochondria, and your 100 billion brain cells. So be patient with your body as you take the products and allow for your body to effect its repair in a very timely manner. But please, for whatever it is worth, get your products. Talk back to the person who invited you to the call, how you might get their website to register for free, and then you are in business, and who can tell, you may be in the money. Now, at this time, I say thanks, if I may allow.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
One more thing, sir. I feel like Columbo. One more thing. Um, Next week Sunday is daylight saving time. I know Jamaica doesn't do it, and a few other places doesn't do it, but in Canada we do it. So we're gonna be 1 hour ahead of Jamaica. Who Jamaica is? We're Eastern time also, Canada, but we're gonna move on to Eastern daylight saving time, but Jamaica will remain Eastern time. Okay.
Okay.
So just
So
just remember, the timing.
the call continues to start 5 o'clock Jamaica time, but
Yes.
according to what pertains in your situation and geographical location, you make the adjustments accordingly.
Right.
Okay, great. Thank
Exactly.
you for that reminder. That
Yes, so that's
critical
March
understanding.
9th. My
Yes.
birthday. Yes.
Yeah, your birthday shake a lot of things around there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thanks
Yeah,
again, Marva. Thank you,
welcome.
Lady Bridget. Wow, I think I was listening to YouTube at one point, because sometimes on YouTube you don't get this kind of concise information. YouTube, you can't get YouTube to respond to your question. But here it is. We are hoping that you failed to get the chance to hear some information and could ask. And Sir Morris Sinclair, thank you, sir, for the quality of presentation that you made. Thank you for sharing from the heart. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what you will get on these calls. People that are sharing from the heart so that we help you to understand the things that pertain to life. Because at any given time, we are both students and teachers at the same.
May I suggest something? Thank you so much for that, Dr. Clive. The call tends to go on longer than an hour, and it's obvious that we have a lot of information to share. I think everyone needs to allocate at least 2 hours next week, because we still have a lot of ground to cover. That's the first thing. Secondly, we didn't get a chance to talk about the upcoming symposium of what we're going to do and how we're going to get people involved with
May I
that.
ask you, Sir Morris, would it take, say, a minute and just give a brief synopsis? That
Yes.
Go ahead, please, Natasha.
So all of the information that we have, like I said, we can't possibly put it into one call and get everything done. So starting at the end of April, we're going to propose, we're going to we have put together a symposium. We're going to launch it in the beginning of April, and everybody's going to be free. Sign up, and it's going to be a series of calls and online workshops and personal things that you can do so that you can have a daily, weekly, monthly action plan. It's going to be about 8 sessions over a period of time, and it will allow you to join and become part of a community that's working and growing together to accomplish all the things that we're talking about: the mindset, the credit, the health, all of those things. And that will be launched. I think we should spend a little bit of time to go more in depth with that next week so that people can start gearing up their schedules and their time for that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I don't know if Pastor Batik is still on, but I saw him earlier. I always like to recognize the presence of the man of God when he ever is on. Yes, thank you, Pastor Batik. Always great to see you. I suspect that members of your congregation out of New York are also a part of the call. Lady English, I always appreciate your presence, as I do for every person on this call. Thank you, every single one who made it to the call this evening. Your presence made the call possible. We thank you for staying on. We want some feedback from you. I know some of us feel comfortable to talk to Lady Marva. Let us know what you're thinking in terms of the direction we are going. Because it's not a big deal for me to come on for 1 hour and speak about the efficacy and the benefits of the More Mitre products. What we are sensing is that people are saying, I want to move to my next level mentally. I want to find solutions. I want to put my brain in a position to think solution. I give you this one from Brian Tracy. For the rest of your life, the knowledge you possess and your ability to communicate it is largely going to determine the value of what you do, the amount of money you make, and the overall quality of your life. We are here to solve problems. The more problems you can solve for yourself and then solve for community, family, and others, the marketplace will be kind to you and reward you. What is your ability now to solve problems? We need to take it to the next level. We are all learning together, learning from each other. And I thank you greatly for the time you have taken for us to try and build community. The last thought. It takes a village to raise the child. Then what does it take to raise the adult? Why is the adult going to leave the village that taught him all the morals? all the skills, all the talents, why is society saying separate from one another and go off on your own? You will die alone. The African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Let us stand together as community, because society has divided us too much already. There's no power in division. We have to hold hands together to cross the river, or the current of the river can wash us away individually. But if 20 of us hold ropes together, we're going to cross the river successfully. Am I making sense, anybody?
Ubuntu.
Stay in community. And thank you, Mother, for that Ubuntu word. We explain it some other day. Don't want to come across us preaching too much. Thank you for everything. Oh, hold on, man. I see Melvin have his hand up again. Oh,
Sorry, actually, can I just say this quickly?
Uh-huh.
Because the calls are getting extremely long, what I'm going to do, I can't do it next week because I can't guarantee next week because I'm going to be in and out. But from now on, what I'll do right after the more Mito presentation, I'm going to stop the recording and restart it.
Okay. Sound like a
All right.
plan. Yes,
Okay.
thanks. Are we going to facilitate Melvin?
If you can do it in 15 seconds.
So Melvin, go ahead, please.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes. The best way or recommendation on using the product for a hernia, I believe it's the stomach area, and if you could just briefly explain hernia.
Hernia. Now, hernia is something that is a tear in the diaphragm. As far as I understand, the protrusion of the intestine, it causes some damage. Now, that may need to be done surgically to repair it and to put sometime a mesh to prevent it from happening again. Some persons' hernia is not very painful, so they live with it for years and can live with it. But some has become very painful because the tear begin to get worse. So, but as far as I understand, a hernia has to be surgically corrected. Is that reasonable?
Yes, and would you say a combination of the restore and rejuvenate in that area would be helpful?
Could help to mitigate the pain, but on the long term, your physician and primary care provider need to advise accordingly.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Appreciate everything.
Thank you for asking. Blessings.
And Dr. Campbell for closing out, please, sir.
Okay, we start in prayer. Thank you, Marvel. We're going to close in prayer. Father, we thank you for every family represented on this call tonight. Thank you, Lord, for every person that contributed, the presenters, the panelists, those persons who asked questions, those who made comments, those who wrote in the chat room, those who asked questions. Father, we look to you. You said that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Lord, we ask you to teach us. Rise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. Lord, we thank you for the light of revelation. Thank you, Lord, that we don't need to suffer from the things our parents and foreparents suffered from when they operated from lack. But God, we thank you that this is a generation that you have shown favor and even uncommon favor, that we have the information, we have the supplementation, we experience the transformation, and we give you the honor, the glory, and the praise. Bless, 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 Lord. And for persons on this call who have family members at home right now, not well, Lord, we pray that you reach down, go to that city, go to that street or lane, go to that address, enter that room of sickness, that bed of affliction. And God, we pray that you speak life and health and restoration into the body of that grieving, suffering person. God, we thank you that by your grace, you have saved us, and by your grace, you heal us. We give you the honor, we give you the glory and the praise. We say thanks in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mondo. Thank you, Merrick. Blessings.
Blessings. Thank you. See you. What good.
Hallelujah. Amen.
You want to say good night, you can do that. I'm going to close the call now. I'll give you a minute to say good night Say hello to someone that you
night,
invited or
Good
yeah,
night,
man.
Mr. Marvel.
Good
Good
night,
night. Good night.
Good
everyone.
night.
Right, so
Good night, Bridget. Good night, Morris.
Wonderful
Thank
evening.
you. Good night.
Good night,
Marvel.
everyone. Marva,
Everyone, and
Yes, my darling.
make sure that I get my cake by FedEx. Wow, what a job.
I think
Holy,
I
look
should
at
give
that.
to UPS.
Wow.
But I never get it.
Whoa.
Sister Marvel,
All right,
take,
so
Sister Marvel,
Mhm.
take away Brother Clive laugh, you know.
Mr. Evans,
The
man
lady,
himself,
the
man.
lady, the lady side of Brother Clive laugh.
Yes, yes. Ubuntu Evans. Good to
Ubuntu.
hear you, man.
Ubuntu.
I
Ubuntu.
must have felt you why I said that.
Yes,
Ubuntu.
It's
yes,
a
yes.
compliment. It's a compliment.
Yeah, man. Family, it's good to have you. A lot of people are lonely. Even though they have 5,000 friends on Facebook, they're still lonely and cry themselves to sleep. But we are family. Thank you for this amazing family.
Yes,
As
God.
we learn together, we earn together. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Get sleep, man. Get some sleep and make some
Yeah.
money.
By the way, Uncle Clive, I am
Yes,
safe on Facebook because nobody's following me.
look at that.
Who is that?
Look at that.
Eh?
Who is that?
It's Marva.
Oh,
I
Marva.
I'm saying nobody's following me on Facebook. I see people have all this people following them. I say I'm safe. Nobody following me.
Nobody following
Oh,
you.
gosh.
Okay.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
Hey,
Where
good
you lead,
night. Good night,
where you
all.
lead us, we will follow.
Yeah, man.
Where you
Thank
lead
you.
us, we will follow.
Who's
Bye.
singing? Bye.
Okay. Take care now.
Yeah, thank you. Goodbye. Love y'all. Mwah.